So for our final presenter this evening, I would like to introduce Mallory Parkington. Mallory has been photographing people since the early 80s when she received a camera from her grandparents. After spending almost 10 years in San Francisco working for Wired magazine, Mallory returned east and in 2011 decided to make a career out of her passion, and she's never looked back. Mallory creates beautiful heirloom portraits in her downtown Portsmouth studio using natural and studio lighting. Mallory, her husband James, and 3 young children reside here in Portsmouth. She's the owner and founder of Mallory Parkington Photography. Mallory will be discussing the different elements of photography with us here this evening. So with that, Mallory.
Hi. The first photo I ever took was with my 110 camera with a stand-up flashbulb on top. I laid out my mini pop record on the floor, stood on my bed, and clicked. Weeks later, when I finally got my photos back, I found a great picture of my finger. When making a great photo, there are many elements to consider. It can be as easy as tapping your iPhone screen, or as elaborate as wiring up an entire lighting system. Regardless, one of the most influential elements of photography is light. In this image, a large window of streaming sun rays create a soft light and a cozy feeling. As dusk approaches and the sun drops in the sky, there's an amazing change in the light. Exposing for the shadows, backlight, or light from behind will make your subject glow and create an emotionally warm image. Sometimes I call myself a light writer, capturing light and moving it with silver reflectors or white walls. Here you can see the main light source, the windows, as it reflects in the child's eyes. These are called catch lights. Catch lights can give depth and life to images. The rule of thirds is one of the first things you're taught when studying photography. This rule divides a picture into thirds horizontally and vertically. When the main subject is placed in the top or the bottom, the left or the right, it's more pleasing to the eye. This is my favorite family picture from 2013. This composition just came together. The separation of families and the variation in height train your eye to go in a circle and create great visual impact. I learned quickly after working in print advertising that no advertiser wanted the left-hand page. Eyes for print are predictable and emotionally go to the right. In some cases, you can help the viewer see what you want them to see by using leading lines. The dune stairs leads your eyes straight to the subject. I'm a rule follower, but throwing a wrench into predictability makes for great photos. Throw in a 1-year-old and the picture becomes more visually interesting. The human form breaks up symmetry, patterns, and repetition. Green and red are opposites on the color wheel. They create the strongest contrast. This image of my daughter is a great example of the use of complementary colors in composition. Your eyes are instantly drawn to the main subject. Black and white images can be striking. Textures pop, highlights and shadows are more dramatic, and saturation and sharpness are more defined. The contrast and absence of color allow you to concentrate on the subject without distraction. If you saw this portrait without a frame of reference, I'd challenge you to tell me the year that it was taken. Processing images can vastly change the feel of a picture. The sepia tone of the image gives it a classic, timeless sentiment. Oh, and I snapped this portrait last month. Children don't stop moving. My son mastered the pogo stick, logging more than 1,000 hours jumping in our backyard. In bright light, a point-and-shoot camera can capture motion. With an SLR, a faster shutter speed can freeze action. My most asked question is always, how do you make the background blur? This is my favorite way to shoot. The camera's aperture needs to be set to a large opening or a very low number to let the most light in. This effect can also be achieved in Photoshop, but better in a camera. Lois Lowry, the author, lives next door to my mother. Her pine trees make for a natural frame around the author's house. Framing could be accomplished in any picture with flowers, building arches, or slightly open doorways, and can make an image feel much more grounded. Reflections in nature can make for interesting images. When used properly, a reflection can offer more information about an image without showing you the whole image. Reflection is everywhere, in sunglasses, street lamps, mirrors, windows. Angles and viewpoints make a big impact. Shooting from a step stool or stepping sideways 3 feet can dramatically change the mood of an image. Had I not been lying on the ground, the shot of my son would have been less than stellar. This local philanthropist loves planes, but I don't think I need to tell you this. Your subject matter should be pretty evident with a quick glimpse. The added visual interest of the cross patterns of the propeller makes this one of my favorite pictures from 2014. I'm a portrait photographer. Connecting the subject with the camera and the viewer is really important. Da Vinci showed us the importance of connections back in the 1500s with Mona Lisa, and I'd say it still holds true today. A picture is worth 1,000 words. With 3 young children, documenting daily life has been my way to journal our lives. This style of portraiture is called lifestyle photography, and it really captures the art of every day. The first emotional reaction is sometimes the most important element to making a great photo. How does it make you feel? What memories does it evoke? Visually engaging elements will always win. And those are the elements of good photography. Thank you.